Hey, what's going on, guys? Phil here from Waypoint Cafe. Cruz out in Denver, Colorado at Ember Hostel.
I am in
And
Denver.
the title of this episode 14 is it's not a good time to travel.
It's not. I don't know if
And
it's a good time. Go ahead.
and Cruz and I actually just talked a moment ago, right before it started, and he was talking about there was about 5 times he was ready to buy a ticket back. So
Like 5 times is like an understatement. Like 5 times in like a 10-minute span was probably more accurate. Uh, yeah, this is an experience. So everybody that like it's like, oh, that's amazing. I can't believe you're doing that. That's great. Do that before you have kids. I wish I could do this. All right, saying all that stuff and actually doing it. It's two very different, two very different things. Cruz, I know you've been doing this for a little while and everything, and I don't know how it was when you first did it, because I know like, previously before you were working and stuff, so you're kind of traveling. Like the initial kind of shock factor, it's a little overwhelming. Like I'd be lying if I didn't say it wasn't.
mm,
Like, it's totally overwhelming at first, and I'm still in the early stages. But today was better. Like I don't know what it was or what it is. Is it just being like completely out of the routine? Or just being in a completely different place all by yourself. It's a combo of all of them. But like I haven't really gone on too many adventures. I did do something yesterday. I went down to like Pikes Peak, which I'll talk about and everything.
mm,
Like the mental adventure, just of everything has been a little surreal. It's been really, it's been really fucking down. Oops, sorry. It's been really down. Like it's been, there's been a couple up points. It's going on. It's on its way up, but the initial shock of it was like super down. Just like what were you thinking? What made you think that
mm.
this was even in the ballpark of a good idea to be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to test out traveling solo because I really want to do it in the middle of a pandemic with like half the thing shut down. The experience and the vibe being kind of different because of this. Like, where did you come up with this terrible, terrible idea? Like that's been running through my head a lot.
I can confirm nor deny that it was me who was encouraged.
You definitely encourage me a lot, but and I can understand why. And like just getting in my routine a little bit today, just being back because I work today. So like I've been working from home. I mean, I've worked from home a ton over the course of my career and everything, but I've never really worked remote, which is different. So like working from home is like one thing. Like it's your normal setup. I have my extra monitors. I'm plugged in. I like it's your place. Everything like that's working from home. That's completely different. Working from remote, especially when you first get into a place, is like completely different. Finding the spot, finding the setup, I'm moving around, fidgeting. I tested it last night. I was worried about like how's the Wi-Fi going to be because like if I'm like developing and running stuff, like I need decent Wi-Fi. But that all worked out. Day one, working remote was successful. That's a checkbox. But it actually was like better because it kind of got me back into the like routine. Like there was something else. I'm having video. I'm having phone calls with people that I'm like used to talking to. To kind of like bridge that gap a little bit about being away. I don't know, like, what do you think people would say? Like, if you start traveling, you think it like hits you, the kind of like aspect of being away hits you sooner, or does it hit you after you've been away for a few weeks? I'm going to assume that after a few weeks, it kind of becomes the norm. At least for me, like the big shock of it was like the first drop. I don't know, what was it for you, Kuya, when you first did it?
Well, first I want to I think it's good for the audience to understand kind of the stages of the trip. So, you know, in the last few episodes, you were talking about how you were feeling back then, and there was a little bit sort of apprehension towards it. But the day before and the morning of, how did you feel? Kind of looking back right now as a post mortem before arriving.
Um, That morning was all right. Getting in the airport felt pretty good. You know, it was a pretty easy through security and stuff. I was like, all right, you know, nice. Like, I got all my stuff. I'm ready to go. And then even like when I first landed and hit the city and everything, like, I was like, all right, not bad. I don't know if it was like on the walk over. Like, so first of all, like I already told you before, like I didn't really, like I did some research, but I didn't do like a little research of like, you know, how do you even get around this particular city? You know, how do you get over from the airport over to the downtown area? So I ended up jumping on the train, took the train over, and then there's a bus line that kind of runs close to the hostel, but the bus that I needed like never showed up. The number 6 bus, I don't think that thing runs. I haven't seen it yet. They have little signs saying like the number 6 bus comes to the stop. The number 6 bus doesn't come to that stop. So I'm sitting there sweating already. So I was like, whatever, I'm going to just stop walking. I don't know if it was just like a walk over or anything, but that was kind of when it changed a little bit. I was feeling good earlier. Then it kind of settled in. I was like here. So yeah, during the morning it was decent though.
Now, as far as when you arrived there, were there what was the airport like?
Airport. So like the airport wasn't like you said from Miami. Denver was. It wasn't that busy. Like, there was some people around, but it was not. It was pretty empty overall. Like you said, Miami was pretty packed.
Yeah, but Miami is a very big airport. So
Denver was light. Boston was super light. It took me 10 times as long to get my coffee inside secure. Like once I was through the security, it took me 10 times as long to get that coffee than it did for me to go through security.
Mm.
Like I waited in security line. It was like 3 people deep.
Mm.
Walked up. The only reason security even took me in is because they searched my bag, which I didn't have anything. I had a bunch of like, because I had like my backpack, so there was like a lot of like little bottles in there of stuff. So I had like a ton of extra stuff between being like little like 2 different types of like bug spray, you know, the D and the lighter D, the sunscreen, and all my regular other stuff. So they just went through that just to like check all the sizes on everything because there was a ton of those. But even with that, yeah, security was super light. There was nobody in the airport at all. Plane was decent. I mean, that was one decent part about traveling. Like the plane wasn't packed. I had a whole row. I had my like legs up and took a nap. That was decent. And then got here and headed over. Bus was like not full, but like there's people. So maybe there's like, I don't know, maybe like 15 people or so, maybe 15, 20 people staying that I've seen like in and out so far. Because you know, time like this might just be people that have left and aren't coming back and you don't even know that they're here yet, just because they might be just in and out, like in and out of their room and stuff. You don't even see them.
Yeah.
And the rooms are on a couple levels, so
what's
common areas.
What's the hostel like? I know today we're not going to be doing the tour, but you know, what's it like? I mean, is it nice? There's a great decor. How comfortable are the beds? The employees that work there?
Yeah, the employees been there, been cool. The bathrooms are actually great. Like the showers, obviously, like it's a hostel, so it's a community. But like all the showers are like individual, like door stall showers, everything with sink, nice like tiled granite. That's all pretty good. Beds, like they definitely upgraded. They're doing like the current on the bunks and everything, which is great. You know how it is. Some places still don't have like the curtains up and everything. They just have like the older school kind of bunk beds and everything.
Yeah.
How's your day going?
Which are fine. Yeah, he's good. So yeah, there you go. So that's why I'm not inside because but they've definitely, so they, you know, your light, your charges, everything on the inside, which is awesome. So you can charge your phone and everything there. The place overall is great. I would say there's not like it's like the one thing, and you know, you find it in some others, they don't have, so like we have the kitchen area, which I went and got some snacks and put in the kitchen area to cook and decent stuff. But there's actually, this hostel doesn't have any type of like, you know, like restaurant or bar or anything of their own at all, which is okay. But I guess I'll find out as I go along. Like that is kind of like a really nice aspect when there is one of those actually at the hostel.
Mm.
Just so you can get your own good bite to eat or a drink. It kind of just is like that center focus area of like community hangout. You know, when you have that, like obviously there's like the community area and stuff. When you have like a place that's like going to give you a beer or two and has like a little bit of food, like it draws more of a crowd. At least that's from what I've seen. I don't know. Have you seen different?
It depends. I think it depends on the hostel and time of year and all that kind of stuff. You know, different hostels have different vibes. So some places uh, where you know there might be more rules like, oh, okay, can't drink and things like that, or others that have like a common area where people can gather and have drinks and whatnot. So it really depends on the type of hostel. And
Okay.
I don't know if they're required for like liquor licenses, like uh, you know, to have in kind of the public areas. But I know that you can't bring drinks in the like sleeping.
Yeah, yeah. So like you can obviously it's like you can drink here and it's tech. I mean it's Denver, so like the back patio is 420 friendly, of course. Um, yeah, it's just Nuno is the first state and everything. So, um, but yeah, no, you're right. Because if they're serving their own alcohol, then maybe you can't bring booze on. But no, you can bring your own stuff here if you want. Um, of course, like no eating and everything inside the dorm rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's about it. So playing with all the places definitely like the show has got a solid vibe. I don't know if things are like maybe a little more subdued, just in general because of everything going on. Maybe there's just less people traveling and stuff. But there are people here. There's still totally people here.
Yeah. So I want to backtrack here a little bit. So you
Yeah.
so you arrived and you had that feeling of wanting to buy a return ticket back. Um, tell me tell the crowd what that's all about. How did you come to those feelings and
Yeah, just feeling like just super just out of place. Just completely out of place, out of your comfort zone, not knowing what's going on, just completely at odds. We're like, what am I? Basically, yeah, like what am I doing here? What is the point of being here? And then just trying to figure out if I was just feeling that way, if it's real. Um, yeah, I was looking at flights. I was like, when's the quickest date I can get out of here? I was like, all right, nice. There's a quick flight on Tuesday. Like, I'm gonna stay through this video call, and then I'm out of here. Like, I'm done. But I didn't buy it, so I'm still here. Which means, I mean, it's already Tuesday. It's already basically through Monday, so I'm not buying. I'm not buying the one for Tuesday, but that doesn't mean that Wednesday can't be purchased if I decide to.
yeah.
But as of right now, I'm not buying the Wednesday one.
Well, why do you think you feel that way?
I don't know. I guess just the initial like shock of not being at your own place. Because like I guess it's different. Like I could go day. Like if I was staying at my own place, like I could go days. But like I don't see or talk to anybody that I really like you or anybody else.
Hmm.
Like I want to talk to anybody or see anybody in person at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could 5 days, like a whole week. Might be like, you go and visit the family on a Sunday, go hang out, do some stuff on the weekend or whatever, and then you go the whole week. Where it's just routine. I'm just getting up, working, going to get my coffee, having a little dinner, like legitimately just exactly like it was just here. And I would never even batted an eye. That would have been perfectly normal.
Hmm.
But like for some reason, just 12 hours of that here out of the comfort zone. And it was just like this like doom and gloom, like sitting. And I don't know why.
It's it's
And really
almost
like,
it's almost
go
like
ahead.
a little bit extra time to think. Also, because you know because it's out of the comfort there. It's like, oh, you have like you could probably walk through your place without opening your eyes. You could go to the bathroom, to the living room area, the hallway or whatever, or the kitchen, and just not really. It's very automatic, right? So your mind is not occupied by cerebral overload of a completely different setting and a completely different. The routine itself is not necessarily that different. It's just it sounds like it's just the familiarity or the routine of the familiarity is the thing that's really kind of um, like a huge kind of layer to get through.
Yeah, and obviously, like I've traveled a ton in my life. Obviously, but generally speaking, it's always with people, right?
Yeah.
Like I've never batted an eye about the change of routine traveling with anybody else, but solo, I don't know, man. It's completely different. Um, completely different. It's like a wild mental ride, like crazy up and down,
Yeah.
crazy up and down just for the first couple of days. I'm really glad right now that I haven't bought the ticket,
Well,
even though I feel like I want to buy that ticket a little bit.
well,
But it's
well, what are the things that make it feel good, and then what are the things that make it feel bad?
a little bit of the work routine today made it feel normal. Uh, I guess having been here for like a couple of days now, just kind of like just being comfortable with like going into the kitchen and stuff like that has been a little bit better. I don't know, maybe just getting a little more comfortable just with the place, just like being like, all right, maybe it's just that factor of just not being able to adjust quick enough to the place. So, what was really annoying? What made me really get? So there was one stretch that I was like, this is. I would tell you, like, this was like probably one of the absolute low point. All I wanted to do Saturday night, right? Beautiful out. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go and get some dinner. So it's me. So I'm looking for a place that's like, Google. I'm looking for a decent spot, has a bar. I can sit at the bar, get a drink, get some dinner, talk to the bartender. Maybe there's some other people to say hi, right? The process, which I didn't really fully succeed in doing, was unbelievable. There's like that I couldn't find anything. Like the places that I did see was decent spots were like either like so far away, like way across the city. It was one of the last ones that I hit that was supposed to be open until later. They were my fault. It showed still that they were still open.
Mm.
Like I think I was on that one. I was on TripAdvisor. That one still showed that it was open. I got there, closed. This one was like a little bit of a walk out of the ways after I had kind of been bouncing around a little bit, so it was kind of getting later. And like stuff. So the other thing right now is like some of the other restaurants are closing a little bit earlier because once they stop serving food, like they're closing.
Mm.
So even places that may have stayed open for like an extra hour or two and maybe just done an appetizer or changed it, once they're doing like stop serving food, they're done. Then other spots you look in and like the bar is like closed.
Mm.
Like the restaurant's still there, but there's like nobody sitting at the bar. Like it's just like mainly a few people, like people outside.
Mm.
Nobody really inside at all. So like that's like even though their websites so fan text. They're upset. Nephews back home they're not open for inside dining, even though the website said it. Mom is very furious. She loves going to nephews. So, but anyways, so just that aspect alone, because like, all right, so if I'm off traveling myself, like I find that to be like a real chill time and a great way to just get out and like, talk around with people is being able to go and sit at the bar, get a little bit of dinner, right? Have a drink and mingle. Like that's like a pretty prime area, in my opinion, to have like a decent, I work all day, do my other stuff, and then go have a little social interaction for the night, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, if there's not this around, I gotta get out of here. Like this, like, what am I gonna do? Like, like I'm screwed. Like what is going on? So I did end up randomly finding a great taco place, but like there, you couldn't sit at the bar where they kind of had like this countertop high area that I sat at. It was late. There wasn't that many people, but they were closing honestly in like 20 minutes. So I just jumped in there, ordered real quick, ate, and then got out of there. There was a spot I found at the beginning of it that it looked like it was more of a nighttime place, because I was talking to the bartender, like, they're like, yeah, we're closing, early. Normally we'd be open till like 1 or 2 or whatever, but they're closing at basically when food stops at 10. This was everything. This was like 6:30. The spot was all right. They had like something on TV, but there was probably only like the bar normal, I would say would have fit like 20 people, 20 chairs or so. I think there was like maybe 8 chairs around the bar. Like the long stretch had 2 and 2, and around the corners had like 2 and 2, and that was it. So that was kind of a little bit of a game changer. So I sat there, that was an issue. No problems there, but the food didn't look like it was that great, so I didn't eat there. So that's when I started my other walking journey.
Yeah.
I ended up going all over, all over Kingdom Come, not really finding anything. So that was at the end of that night, end of that first night, Saturday. I was like, this is going to be the quickest trip ever. I'm going to be back home in like 36 hours. This is terrible.
Well, I think there's a lot of weird kind of, with the situation with, with some of the restrictions with some of the restaurants and things like that, and people, people not traveling as much. There's obviously benefits on pricing for these types of things, but it's kind of like we don't really know what a situation is going to be like until you actually arrive there and see what it's like. But no, I mean I totally understand how you feel. I think it's like I'm guessing it's probably somewhere between kind of like nervousness, uncomfortable kind of anxiety, and then at the same time it's like, oh, this would be so much easier if I just had the Dunkin' Donuts that I could basically drive to without with a blindfold on type of stuff, where certain things are just very, very predictable, whereas this is like, ooh, there's a little bit of growing pains, I guess you could say, from doing certain things. Like, oh, I want to go get food. Oh, where do I go?
I don't. That's a great question, Kuya. I have no dinner. I need to solve that problem in a little while. So currently, my answers are nowhere. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I gotta.
Are there supermarkets nearby or anything, or
like the Trader Joe's is only like 2 blocks. So that's where I went. Got like a couple of apples, bananas, some granola bars. But I kept it like when I first went there. I kept it real simple and just got that stuff, just because I was unsure of what I was going to eat, everything. So I was like, I know I will eat this stuff no matter what.
Yeah.
So I just got that. I was like, this is at least enough to, even if I eat 2 bananas and 2 granola bars and an apple a day, I can at least sustain myself just with this. And then that's what I got. So that's good for that. And it was a bigger Trader Joe's. They had a lot of stuff there. It was a good one. Sometimes some of them are real small in the cities.
Yeah.
This one was decent size. It's like slightly on the outskirts. Denver overall, from what I'm walking around, has been like okay. There is a new thing going on in Denver. So they have like in front of the Capitol building, I went by twice, once in and once out. Tent City in front of the Capitol building. They lifted the camping ban, so the entire front of the Capitol building, there's like a huge stretch of grass between you have like the Capitol building where it runs with the main street right in front of it. And then you have the next block. And that block all the way down to the next block is a huge grass area, full Tent City. And then like the whole front of like the bottom, I couldn't notice it when I first walked by because I was on like the back side, but when I walked back up the other way, I was like on the Capitol building side when I passed back up later in the night. The whole bottom of like the Capitol building itself just absolutely tagged, spray painted with every type of various saying that you can think of. Just absolutely the whole bottom of it tagged up. Yeah, which was pretty intriguing. Like it's something when you're like the whole bottom of your like Capitol building's tagged and like graffiti, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oof. Like the Tent City, I get that. I like you see that in other cities. Like you'll tend to find them in certain other locations, but you also can tend to find them sometimes like near the Capitol buildings and stuff a little bit, just as like a whatever, like a sign of protest or a show of anything. but then to have the actual like defamation of the bottoms, and I mean it was like high up. It was a good couple like blocks, and we're talking like like the building blocks. It was up like about a person high on like across the whole bottom, tagged up everything. BLM, bleep BLM. I love BLM. Like they're the worst. Like everything from left to right, all over.
Yeah.
That kind of struck me. I was like, all right. Now I was walking back up that other way too. I think somebody hucked an apple at me. I'm still unsure about it, but like all of a sudden I heard behind me like doom doom doom. I looked and something went rolling. I looked back and those two people like walking the other way. And I kind of looked and they kept going. I was like, but I'm pretty sure somebody hucked something at me. Pretty sure about that one. I was like, been here for like 8 hours. Like, really? This is what we're gonna do? So, but I was like, whatever. I just keep walking. It's stupid.
Yeah. Wow. This I'll tell you what. That's quite an experience. Just your first day there. So it's a combination of a bunch of stuff. Yeah, that will probably add to the kind of uncomfort levels there.
I'm just trying to get an appetizer. Like real simple. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. I'm just trying to get a good drink and a couple appetizers. That's all. So I was super low point yesterday.
Yeah.
Early on in the day.
So if anyone has any question for Cruz, since he's out there in Denver, and he was just a quick recap, just talking about his experience before, during the flight, and then afterwards, in his first 8 hours in Denver, and just without a surprise, it's a little bit quiet as far as things are going, but there's because of all the things that are going on in the United States, I think there's a little bit of just concentrated pockets of activities that that can be a little unsettling, I guess you could say.
Yeah. No. So I mean, it's not my first venture with that one, so it's kind of all right. But yeah, I mean, they're definitely there. They're definitely making a statement. I mean, it's definitely filled up. What's going on, guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. How you doing? How are you? Just checking in. Yeah, you just got to knock, and they'll let you in, and then everything. So.
You work here? Or are you visiting?
Visiting. Yeah, visiting. Just doing I'll tell you what. I'm just doing like a video blog about just landing and traveling and everything right now. But
where are you from?
Oh, over from Rhode Island.
Rhode Island?
Yeah, just.
You have a YouTube channel?
We're starting one, so I'm actually just working remote. So that was some people that were just randomly walking in. So
Cool.
Some young guys in the chill. So
yeah. So did you get a chance to hang out with a few people while you're there?
Not really, no. A little bit for like an hour or so. So yesterday, not really at all, because I just left. I was like, I gotta go. Because so there's the other issue, which this is completely on me. But it was good. It's good at the same time. I think I'm going to look back on this and be like, it's fine doing it this way. But I didn't do nearly as much research on the place as I should have at all about Colorado, about how to get around, the distance between stuff, about the actual geographical location of Denver itself in relation to activities I want to go and do. It's completely on me. So if you don't want to have that anxiety when you go somewhere, especially if you're going by yourself, do more research than none. Which is whatever, you figure it out as you want to go. So like, you were here, right? But you had the truck and stuff with you when you were here in Denver,
right? Several different times. One of them was doing a tour with a company that I used to work for, and then another time was for conferences and stuff. So
okay,
different occasions, same company.
So without a car, without a vehicle, it's real difficult to like get out of the city and do stuff. Like Denver's pretty chill. I'm perfectly fine using this as my base because like there's like this stuff around. I want to see Denver and everything. But like I wanted to go, like, I want to go hiking, I want to go see stuff, especially like on the weekends or even when I get some time, maybe just after work. Although probably not during the week. After work, I'll probably just be like, you know, I gotta find a place to work out. Like, I don't know. Like, I asked some people. So it was actually pretty funny. The first night, not to like randomly jump around. So the first night, I'm over at that one bar that I told you about. Sat there for a minute, which bartender was chill. I asked her, I was like, do you know any like parks around where I could like go and run and stuff, do some stuff, and then they have like, you know, some like bars and different things for like I can like, you know, work out, do different calisthenics on. She was like, oh, over there, yeah, like there's a place to run. I was like, and then she's like, oh, and then there's a bunch of restaurants around there with bars and everything for you to go to. Like, no, like, no, like workout, like bars, like calisthenic, like so I can do stuff on. She's like, oh, she's like, no, I have no idea what that is. Like, all right.
No, if you just find a park with like a kids setup, it's usually pretty good. Like you'll be able to do a bunch of
So
stuff.
that is that your go-to? So that's what I was going to ask you on one of these things. Like, what's the best way of finding that? Because I can just run around, I can do some stuff anywhere, but I need like just the different bars and stuff for some calisthenics and different things.
I would say just look up parks nearby on Google Maps, and then just check it out. I usually look at the topography, and if it looks like there's the more complex the playground, the better the chance that you can do like a lot more complex exercises or more difficult exercises. You know, like usually a lot of those kids playgrounds will have like a pull-up bar or like one of those hanging rings, and that would be very helpful. And then typically they just have a bunch of random stuff, because even out here in New Bedford, I mean, like just a couple of days ago, I went to the playground. It's about a mile away from here. Took the bike.
Oh, all right, yeah, I know where you are. So it took me a second to remember where you were, the new spot.
Yeah.
But what was over there? Sorry, I was just gonna send this text back.
So they had basketball courts, but they had a fairly decent kids playground. They had actually a pull-up bar for kids. Good sized grip too, so it's not like too tiny or too large. And
yeah, you know, sometimes you get those like you got the poles and stuff, but it's like the support poles you got to use, and they're wicked fat.
Yeah.
Or like you get some of like the little thinner ones where like
it hurts the hands.
Like digging in your hands. Yeah.
Well, just like in what the heck's it called, in Peru, we did some calisthenics, and like one of the bars on them are like really difficult to hold on to.
Like, why they were kind of fat? Yeah. Oh yeah, there was one for pull-ups. I was like hanging by fingertips.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get my hand on it. Like I don't like. You had to have like some Shaquille O'Neal hands to wrap your hands around this.
Yeah, seriously.
Wasn't happening. So.
Yeah, and that too, you'll feel a little bit uncomfortable at first. You know, like exercising outside, like especially if you're gonna like, you know, be serious about like, oh, I'm gonna get a good workout. You know, it's like you feel a little bit self-conscious. Other people might be watching. But if you go,
give it a go.
Yeah. But if you just go out there and just get a good exercise. See, that was one of the things that was very interesting in Peru and Ecuador. So one of the sport there that seems very popular is calisthenics. So like, you know, people do all the pull-up bar stuff and do all these crazy spins and whatnot. And a lot of people are really good. But I noticed that there's a lot of parks like that in Ecuador and Peru, and not so much that I've seen in the US. Like if they have those types of playgrounds, like they're typically designed for kids. But you know, there's very good reason just to go there and actually work out, because like I said, like kids playgrounds are designed for calisthenics. So that's one of the That's one of the good things, yeah.
So I'm gonna track one of those down. But then so back to the as I completely sidetracked. I needed to get out of here. So I went and rented a car. I got this car till Wednesday. I only got it to Wednesday because at the time when I was renting this car, I was like, there's no way I even last till Wednesday before I fly out of this thing. So I was like, I'm like, we'll just rent it till Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I would consider getting a zip car, because you can pay by the hour. So say if you just leave for like 2 or 3 hours, you can just return it back to the location. And it's not as expensive.
So I might do that for just on the weekends or something, because I don't really need it like during the week when I'm going to be here or wherever. because I'm just working during the week, and then after that, I'm not like gonna probably go anywhere. But on the weekends or something or whatever, like definitely. So I jumped in the car. Went direct. I got in the car at the airport, and then I just left. I drove down to Colorado Springs. Just got on the highway. I actually didn't even have anything in the GPS at all when I was leaving the airport. I just followed exit signs out of the airport. And I just looked for signs on the highway, and it said left to Colorado Springs. So I took a left. And that was completely my rhyme and reason for it. Yeah. And then I'm going, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm going in Colorado Springs. And I was like, Pikes Peak is supposed to be outside of Colorado Springs. And I was like, all right, you need to like be a normal adult and solve this like a normal adult person. So find a stinking exit with a gas station, get off, and put this in your phone. Figure it out rather than just driving around like a madman, just taking random lefts down the highway in a state where you have no idea where anything is geographically at all.
Yeah.
So I did that. So I got off, stopped at a gas station. Funny, actually, surprisingly, they have a bunch of gas stations. It's like a whole chain of them called Come and Goes. I saw more of that. Not gonna lie, I didn't get a picture of it, but I'll provide one for you. Stopped there. It's like Pikes Peak or whatever. So I punched it in. It was right outside Colorado Springs, and I was like, all right, let's go. That's where we're going. Going to Pikes Peak. Which, do you know what Pikes Peak is?
One of the tallest areas in Colorado.
Tallest, yep, you got it. One of the tallest areas in Colorado, the U.S. But it's actually the only thing I would say that would have been cooler is if they didn't build the road all the way to the top. They built it like
there's a crazy car race that they have.
Yeah, they still have it.
Yeah.
So I drove up with the thing, and like it's not like the way they described it a little bit. Some of the things that I read was like they described it way more extreme. I'm like, you need to go to like another area, like a place with lesser infrastructure than the US of A, and drive on like a winding road because this road's not that bad.
Yeah.
Like you want to have like cliffs that you're actually nervous about. Like you need to go somewhere else. Like this is obviously like it was steep and it was windy and everything. And like going down, you definitely want to have it in low gears. Otherwise, you're gonna smoke your brakes the whole way down. Like you're just gonna be riding the brakes the whole way down. They're gonna be 1,000,000 degrees before you hit the bottom. So you got to use your low coming back down. That was legit. You definitely did. I didn't know I was going here, so I didn't pack my bag correctly. It was freezing at the top up there. It dropped, it was like 85, 90 all day. I got up to the top. It was like 55 with like 40-mile-an-hour gust winds. I'm in t-shirt and shorts. I'm like, you are the biggest idiot right now ever. So we're just having like compounding moment after compounding moment of just this delirium of going on. But I got up to the top there. So it's like 14,000 feet. Gorgeous views. I got some great pictures. It's a chill spot. So it's not like it's no type of like hiking adventure or anything. It's a family friendly type of adventure. We drive up and you go and see the views and everything like that. But it was just good to be at that altitude and really get the thing that I was fine. It didn't even bother me at all, honestly. Like I got out, I was hiking around, no issues, didn't feel anything, any shortness, nothing at all. And even at Denver here, like I haven't felt anything at all. I mean, they say, it's a mile high, but it's like, I don't know. I don't think if you're like at a place, like I would say for me personally, I don't know about you, like I think you cut off, like maybe if you're staying around 9,000 or 10,000 is when you start feeling something a little bit.
I'd recommend trying to go for a run. Try to go for a 30-minute run.
Think so? You think it'll be pretty rugged?
Yeah, I'd also
only at 5.
I'd also be careful too, because your body will, your mind and your body will play tricks on you. You're like, oh, I don't feel right, but I feel like I can do this, and it's again, it's one of those things. It's worth trying it one of these like nights after you finish work.
Definitely after the sun goes down right now, because it's like been like 90 in the city. Like it's hot in Denver right now.
Yeah.
Like there's no cool breeze. There's no like not out near us at night time where it's cooling down. You near the water and stuff. It's hot. So now that's an interesting one. Did a lot of walking around first day or two. Hipping back, personal, nothing about the thing, but the hipping back have been all right. Actually getting a little bit better. A little stretch from seeing that guy has been helping out. Knock on wood. Even after the traveling and everything, which usually like tightens you up and kind of bangs you up a little bit. It's been okay. I did probably 7 or 8 miles in the city, walking around and stuff, and I was fine. So
Nice.
That's something at least. I did Pikes Peak, came down, just stayed out, like just driving. Just a chance to be in a different spot, driving down. Once I got out of Denver and you start heading that way, Colorado Springs is really it looks really pretty. Where it is, right in the foothills and stuff. Like Denver, is like it's not next to the mountain. Like you're a little ways away. You're like 2 hours away before it starts really like going up and up. Colorado Springs is different. It's like almost more at the foothills.
Yeah.
The rocks look different out there. It was like just driving up Pikes Peak, driving through. Like it was good. It was cool. It was like some real beautiful scenery down that way. Like Denver's been chill, but as far as what I'm like really looking for, like that drive, I was like, all right, like this looks good. This is what I was expecting. This is what I'm looking for. That whole thing, like it just felt better. The scenery being around, was more what I was looking for.
Yeah.
As far as like being up in the mountains, right? Denver, like you don't really feel like you're in the mountains.
Yeah. It's almost like, whoa, that sounded like a
The scooter went by. Did you see that boom?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the scooter went by. Yeah, we're outside because I didn't want to bother people inside and stuff.
Yeah, no worries there. No, it just sounded like a Skrillex song or something that was gonna go off. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop a line out here. Cruz is out there. It's completely different. And if anyone's who's watching right now, who's actually been to Colorado or in Denver, drop a line in the comment section. But also, the good thing is like you're in your first week, and it sounds like there's a good portion of highs and lows, probably in some sense some lows there. So what would you say at this moment right now is your the best so far as the high point of your trip so far, from the arrival up to today?
The Pikes Peak. I got up to the top of Pikes Peak and I just sat there. I was freezing. The wind was whipping. But like you get up on some of the rocks and you can just sit and look out. I just chilled there for like a good 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah. Just
sitting, just high out. That was like the most chill, just like zen moment of the whole thing. Block out the other people that are around. Just be like, you know what? Like this is like this moment right now. Like, this is why I decided to do it. I got to like feel that, for that good 25, 30 minutes as I just sat there, like this is the moment, or one of the future moments and experiences of like why I decided to do this. And it made me feel a little bit better about my decision. Then when I was driving back, I was like, this is a stupid decision.
Well, both literally and figuratively, you had like this all-time high, both in altitude and both in serene feeling, and then both figuratively and literally, you were actually headed back down. So you went up and then you went back down.
Yeah. So, but just figuring out this is obviously like the intro to everything. Just hitting the land, and I'd love to do some other like videos of when I like send you stuff and we do different stuff of like actual other areas around and different things. I'd love. So there's some other places around here that I want to get to, which, I'll be working during the week. I'll probably it's going to be weekends, really, right? Like I'm going to be working. I need a central base, central location. But on the weekends, there's totally some stuff that I want to try and get some clips, get some videos posted up about different areas, and try and record those. And they're just going to be my try and just do my own recordings of stuff for you, and we'll just put them up, like no edit, no, it'll just be my kind of commentary, just a real live clip of like, oh hey, here's there's like right outside of Denver here is Red Rock Amphitheater. So it's like this natural rock formation that forms an amphitheater.
Mm.
It's the gorgeous red rock that is like really common out here. So it already was forming this really natural amphitheater. So they actually ended up carving the whole amphitheater, all the stairs in the stones, going all the way down. And it's just absolutely gorgeous from the pictures that I've seen. That's a place that I'm going to probably get out to. I told you I was like, maybe I was going to do it from here. I'm in Worcester. Ooh, I don't know who that is. Yeah, Worcester. Leave a message. They hold concerts there. No concerts right now. Obviously, we're not having concerts right now. What they do have there, and this is big on like, I've actually like, it was big on like me doing my little like boost on stretching, trying to make myself feel better. On the weekends during like the early mornings, they're actually doing like yoga at the Red Rocks. So they have like a huge yoga class on the stairs. Go there and do everything. Sign up. I think it was like 15 or 20 bucks or something. Sign up and go. You drive out there. So there's a good chance I might actually do that. Go and check it out. Go do that early morning. Go do that as like a quick workout. Check that out, and then like I don't know, start my Saturday. Whatever I'm gonna do. Go from there.
Now, have you signed up for things like Meetup or are there any activities that they have planned at the hostel that they do or?
So the hostel has a few things that they normally would have been. They had like a movie night and this and different stuff, but it seems like it's real light at the moment right now, just with everything that's going on. So I don't think there's a ton with that stuff that's really like kicking off. And I didn't sign up for Meetup. I don't even actually know what that is. What is this? What is this Meetup you speak of?
Meetup is usually for it's like common interest stuff, but it's usually good for traveling. I find it was very useful when I was out in the U.S. Whenever I went to a town or a city, they locate like there's usually a person that schedules and organizes, like for instance, like, oh, okay, people want to go hiking, right? One person will be the organizer, and then they'll have a specific time where they meet, and then there's kind of like a get to know each other part where you go to the bar and stuff like that. And it's more common in places like like a Denver, larger cities and things like that. But it's a way to kind of just get out there. But it's a whole spectrum of different activities that you can look for. So if you looked up, meet up at Denver, it's gonna ask you, what are your interests? Be like programming. Is it gonna be like fishing, hiking, and stuff like that? There's usually categories of activities that I found that was really fun. Met a lot of really good people from that.
That's interesting. No, that'd be cool. So what they do have in like, it helps a little bit with the car, and I don't plan on like camping at any of these spots or anything really, just because I only have the weekend. So maybe it would be like there was something like Saturday over to Sunday and come back. Maybe it's not like I'm on vacation, right? Where we can go and like go off for like 5-6 days on a hike across wherever.
Yeah.
So out of Denver and stuff, they do have like a small tour, jump in and they'll bring you out to like Rocky Mountain National Park, and you'll have like 4 to 6 hours to go and like hike out around Rocky Mountain National Park. They'll go over stuff, show you stuff. So that'd be pretty deep. I was looking at one of those. I think they actually like bring you, they bring the lunch and everything too. So you get like the bus out, the travel, somebody that's there like being like, oh, hey, you want to check out this, knows about the park and everything. So that I'm actually debating doing that this upcoming weekend, signing up for that.
Yeah. Is there a bulletin board in the hostel as far as like activities?
Really. Yeah, it's pretty low and stuff right now.
Like if you have a car, might be worth asking people, like, hey, I'm gonna be going to this place. You guys want to, someone want to go?
That was the other thing I was gonna, I was debating just like extending or keeping and grabbing the car and just like driving up there myself, just packing my bag, driving up myself, and just being like, okay, let's figure it out. Just try not to get eaten by a black bear. Like, come on back. Like, just for the experience, like the tour groups are nice and everything, and it would be pretty cool. But there is always something to be said about like just kind of pulling something off yourself. I don't know, a little bit of self kind of gratification, but we'll see how I'm feeling. I'm gonna decide in the next day or two.
Yeah. Did you bring all?
Go ahead.
Did you bring all your hiking gear?
Yeah, the only thing I didn't bring is I didn't bring my like full boots. So I have these like really stiff running. I have like my real like supportive like low top running sneakers with my insoles on it.
Yeah,
those should be fine for just a day. You know, it's not like I'm going to be going for like 3-4 days or anything. They should be fine for a day. I didn't bring like my boots only because it was like I already feel like I brought more. I don't even know why I ended up with so much crap. I already feel like I brought more crap than I needed, but at the time I felt like I needed it.
yeah.
I'm totally not even going to need as much as I did. Maybe once I start like working out and blowing through t-shirts and stuff a little bit. But yeah, no. I have my small bag. I have my poles. I have all my my first aid, my punch. Like I have all my stuff.
Yeah.
My like water tablets in case I get stuck there. Like I have all the BS with me.
Good.
Only thing I'll have to do is make sure I'm loaded up on like extra granola bars and crap just in case. I don't have a lighter with me, actually, surprisingly enough. So just that'd probably be like the only like single major thing is like make sure I have enough little snacks and stuff, and then throw a lighter in there just in case. But besides that, I got everything with me.
Wow. So I think it's good to really point out just I guess all the different emotions that are going on, especially like the honeymoon phase of any trip, whether it's good or bad. It's like there's always that like part where it's just it's very unsettling.
I'll
Certain
let you know
times.
when I. Oh, honeymoon phase, I think is supposed to be good. Isn't that technically what honeymoons
Yeah,
are?
technically, but hey, sometimes it's like, oh wow, like this is it's kind of a very surreal moment. Like I said, it's a new chapter. Um, it's it's very different in the sense of like just being in a different place. But I think one of the things that you pointed out that's very important is having a routine that makes it feel normal, and that's
Today, like for that like stretch of time, it was just like I'm just at like a different table, but this is just what I do normally on Mondays.
yeah,
Not having that, if I didn't start work today, if I didn't have that, I definitely would be like, cool, yeah, I'll see you like tomorrow because I'm gonna be home like that. And, like I don't know if that's for and it's crazy, and I don't know how other people feel or anything. Like obviously, you love a little bit of adventure, a little bit of unknown. There's something about routine that keeps you sane. Just keeping that routine. So I completely understand, like, of course, like while you were traveling and everything, like why you kept that routine. Of course, you like wanted to and needed to and had to, but there's also a different aspect for it. Just to like, it's like that one like stable thing that you have, even if like you don't have like somebody that right next to you, you still have that like routine. Like, well, I got to get this done for the next 8 hours. That's all that matters. That's what I'm focused on, and it kind of just like resets your mental state.
yeah, and I think that's important for for anyone that does the whole remote thing because I think there's a misconception about the whole digital nomad kind of aspect. Like, oh yeah, it's all vacation time. We're gonna go to the beach every day. We're gonna and it's like for me personally, and it sounds like for you as well. Like there has to be some structure throughout the day or throughout the week to at least anchor down some of the things that we can do so that what I mean. It's kind of like the concept of how do you know if something's bad if you don't know what's good, and how do you know if something's good if you don't if you haven't experienced what's bad. So there's all these kind of like contrasting things that is kind of needed in life to feel balanced and um, what's productive and things of that nature.
Like maybe if you were the group, maybe even if you're just like with one other person, right? It's different, right? And you're going if you're just like, because then you can like you have somebody to go off on vacation or whatever, and you can do that. And you don't need the routine necessarily during the day. But just from my quick experience so far, like if you're solo, like you need a routine, you need something, or I don't know, you might go crazy. That might be a real thing. You might.
Honestly, I honestly think that's actually true. Like, like I said before, I've done this, do remote thing for a long time. So like that is one of the most critical parts or the critical keys to just staying balanced, is having, a steady routine where you can come back and, like I said, feel like you've accomplished something, get your mind off of just the outside world, I guess you could say, and focus. Just, there's different, there's a time for leisure, there's a time for productivity and stuff like that. I think every person needs a combination, different variations of all the different types of experiences. But the whole remote thing is not all, hey, I wake up at 5 and I go hiking. That's actually not a bad idea, because it's very zen. But oh, I'm gonna drink a martini at 8 in the morning every day. Like
No, no. It felt like just the routine. It felt good, like responding to emails. I was like, oh, nice, I got an email to respond to. Yes. It was dumb. It was dumb, but it was totally like a grounding, centering thing.
No, that's good. And what's really good is that it's this is happening in real time, right? I think that's one of the most important things. And then, for anybody
Yes,
that's
I was having a mental breakdown yesterday.
cut off. Oh, it's reconnected again. Okay. Sorry guys, if we lost you there, the streaming service disconnected for just a moment. So, but it was only just for a moment. But just to recap, Cruz, could you just describe what you were saying a moment ago about the mental breakdown?
And you're saying that this is happening in real time, and I was like, yeah, this is happening in real time. I was having a mental breakdown yesterday about the whole thing, like legit mental breakdown of like, I just started driving in a car and taking random highways to find something. So thank God for that routine this morning of just getting back, logging in, being like, okay, what meetings do I got? What do I got to do for development, this, that? Oof. Totally, definitely a changer as far as that stuff goes. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. I mean, I think it's going to be a day by day thing at this point, and then it might turn into a week by week thing as like I get used to it and stuff. But yeah, right now just day by day.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, like I said, just my recommendation would be just to really get out of your comfort zone. You're in the hostel. Hey, I'm going out to eat. You want to go out to eat? Just randomly. Doesn't matter who it is. And it's a really good way just to kind of break the ice, and then, I mean, you never know what's gonna, the worst thing that someone's gonna say is no. That's kind of just the normal thing.
Oh, for sure, yeah. If someone asked me right now, I'd be like, I don't know what I probably would say yes. I should just say yes. If anybody asks me, I'm just saying yes. What do you do? Sure. As long as if I don't have to work or anything, let's go.
And also keep in mind too, I mean, you're in Colorado. There's a lot of, I mean, despite the kind of the quarantine thing still going on, there's still a lot of stuff to do as far as being outside.
Colorado Springs was a little different too. So when I was down in Colorado Springs after I got done with Pikes Peak, like we've talked about this a ton of times. I don't care necessarily about the mask. Like, mask yes, mask no, whatever it is. I'm following along so everybody else is comfortable. That's just how I am with it. It's not like this crazy sticking point. I'm not like rah. But obviously we've talked about it. We do have different views than what is the norm about the data analytics side of it, right? We've discussed this before. Yeah. But as far as me actually throwing a mask on, I don't care. Want to put a mask on? That sounds great. Perfect. Who cares? No big deal for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't. Colorado Springs, I stopped at this place, Rudy's. So I don't know if anybody's ever familiar with Rudy's. They're like a Texas-based barbecue place. It's like a gas station. Originally started as just a gas station. I started selling barbecue. And then it was like a mom and pops, and now they got like a chain. There's not a ton of them. There's in like maybe 7 or 8 states. They're originally Texas based. I love them. They're great. So I got done with Pikes, and I was like, oh, is that a Rudy's right there? As I was coming back down, I was like, I was looking for a place to eat. And I was like, oh, that place seems decent, Colorado Springs. And I was like, I could get a sit down, or I could go to Rudy's. I was like, yep, I'm going to Rudy's. And so I'm outside of Colorado Springs there, and like that Rudy's, like there was no sign there that said like, and not like I say this, and not like I need a place to be like, oh, no masks or anything. Let me go to the thing. So that their sign didn't say they needed masks. You didn't actually need a mask to go in there, which is like, that's the first place I've been in since they started. Anywhere back home, Mass, Rhode Island, like there's no place like that. You can't do that. And then even in Denver, like there's no place that you could do like that. And not like I'm like, oh, yeah, remove the mask or anything, but what it made me think was that perhaps down in Colorado Springs, not that they're more lax, but maybe perhaps that there was a few more things like open. And it also was like a cool area that I wanted to go and check out as well anyways. So just one of those things.
Yeah.
You know, perhaps that they have more restaurants where they're like bar seating is open. That was my thought. Not like I want to need a whole bar open, but you know, maybe it's more standard that they have the bar area more open for me to just go and be able to sit and have dinner and like have some conversation with somebody.
Yeah. So I think in closing here, because we're just a little bit past the hour, do you have any closing statements, Cruz, about your first weekend and what your recommendations are for anyone who's going to consider traveling, at least from your experience right now, in your first weekend and with a postmortem on this initial start of the trip?
So, if you got me yesterday, I would have said, don't do it. You're an absolute moron. But right now, I'm going to say it's fine. Yesterday, I was in a different place. Say today, it was fine. You got to be aware what you're getting into. Stuff's going to be a little tighter. You got to be a little more careful. Stuff's a little more restricted. Definitely check out where you're going first. Not like I did. Definitely like, do some review of that stuff. But if you want to, I think it's still totally viable right now. It may end up being terrible for you. You may come back really, really quickly. But I think if you can stick it out for a little while, which is what I'm trying to do, I think like that little glimmer of stuff when I was sitting there, just having that nice little Zen moment, 14,000 feet up, gorgeous view down, winds whipping. Like, this is the view. This is what I wanted. That like little bit there, that 25 minutes gave me that little glimmer of like why you would come and do this right now during all this, or just in general. So.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing to point out. I mean, like I said, guys, this is a live video, so this is real time, like exactly what's going on, and you know, it's great that Cruz can share this experience because it's really good to just kind of see the stages over time, and we don't know what you're gonna feel a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, a year from now, you know, but just being able to, you know, get a sense of what you're experiencing in real time. So even though you know you're reflecting on some of the stuff that you did, but right now it's right here, and you know, we do sort of prepare a little bit for these videos, but as far as like just getting a real sense of what's happening at the moment, I think this is a great thing to have, as far as, at least for me too, as a resource. In some ways, I'm actually reliving some of you know, like some of my experiences with what you're experiencing, because I totally understand, you know, all these like weird emotions that are going on in the mind. It's like, oh my god, like, is this real? Is this fake? You know.
Yeah, is it gonna pass? Like, yeah, I was a little nervous. I don't know. Yeah.
So that concludes the video, guys. Thank you for joining us. Be on the lookout for the next video, and also keep in mind that Cruz and I are going to be uploading other videos, kind of, you know, side stuff that from the past and current things like that. So you're going to get some real insight on
Yeah, some little short clips, 5-10 minutes about different spots and different places and stuff. Just from things that are out around Colorado or wherever I am. So we'll have this like ongoing monologue once a week, for the hour and everything, about kind of everything. But then I'm hoping to get some like short clips out about the actual spots, so you can kind of see like how I'm doing and how I'm feeling. But then actually get like some travel spots and see some places and be like, oh, you know what, that place looks awesome. I think I definitely want to check it out. So we're gonna be working on some of that stuff too.
Yeah. So thank you guys very much for joining us. Tune in next week and see where Cruz is at. That'll be a very interesting thing for sure. So
Insane asylum.
yeah.
It's gonna be.
All right. Thank you guys very much.